Scown on, Cocko. Back again, week 2, another reseller to interrogate and smash the questions. Without further ado, I'm going to bring her straight on because I am absolutely pumped to get into this one. Kirra, how you going?
Hey guys, how's it going?
I'm very well, thank you. Good to have you on. We're going to get straight into the questions. But, well, firstly, I'll just do a quick hello to the chat because we can't ignore our chat. But Robbie was in early, cracking a VB and give a thumbs up.
Hey, Robbie.
Into the VB. And
some water.
Well, I'm going to start with that question this week. Are you a VB fan or no?
No, but I like selling the hats. They sell well. I don't drink. I don't drink alcohol, so I'm a diet Coke.
Fair enough.
And I like occasional beer, but VB is not my go-to.
I'm a little bit disappointed there. That takes it to 1-1 because Maddie didn't mind. I'm going to ask everyone. That was Robbie's question last week. But but there's been a lot of trolling of VB in live stream chats of late that I've been a part of, and I haven't liked it. So I just want to see how many resellers actually like it. We're at 1-0. Rec Raiders lowered themselves to Cooper's Pale Ale this evening. Denika's in. How you going, Denika? Kara, Thrifting, Pixie, 2 Aussie Thrifters, Racken. Michael's in. What up, Michael? Good to see you. I haven't seen you around for a little while, mate. Kaz is in. If I can catch up with this, I think I'm semi-caught up. Everyone's just talking back and forth to each other. The Irish Picker of Perth is in. MX Wake, welcome, mate. Rebecca's in. Jazz is in. Thanks, everyone, for coming in. Michael's saying, sorry to say, but many beverages go down my gullet before a VB. That's unfortunate, Michael. That is unfortunate. It's a good drop. Oz Riley, I've got to get back to you too, Oz Riley, about those books. I'll have a chat to you tonight. So anyway, I think I'm caught up there. So firstly, what I want to get into tonight, now I put it out to Instagram with a few questions, and that's how I'm going to start off tonight because I had a good, well, it wasn't actually a question, but it was actually from Sam, Second Life Sales, which is going to lead into a question from me. But she said she doesn't have a question, but can you just tell her that she is a hero with her job, please? So Sam is giving you the props and saying you are a hero for what you do. Would you like to fill everyone in what you actually do for a full-time job?
Actually, it's a part-time job now, but I am a paramedic. So I do that. I've been doing that for like 12 years now, which is a very long time to be doing night shifts, but you yourself know all about that. So yeah, I wouldn't say I'm a hero, but I appreciate that sentiment and the statement.
No, absolutely. We all, anyone in that line of work, I believe, is a hero. So that's the sort of first thing that I'll get on with that. The 12-hour shifts you mentioned and the night shifts, very tough. Physically and mentally. I personally know that from experience. It killed me. I only done it for just over 6 years. So it gave me an absolute hiding. And I found with my line of work, it was kind of we had a lot of downtime. It's obviously a lot different to what you do. So I could do a lot of eBay stuff when I was at work. And I'm not going to hide that fact anymore. I sat around and done a lot of eBaying when I was at work because when you're on night shift, you don't have managers there. Obviously, your job is a lot different. High demand. I can imagine it's high stress. How do you adjust and how do you fit eBay in with work life? Because obviously doing 12-hour night shifts, you need to get your sleep and all that. I imagine it'd be pretty tough to juggle the two of them.
It is. It's really tough, especially when I'm at work. So it's funny because like we are busy, we are nonstop, but there's something in South Australia, and I think it probably is nationwide, where it's called ramping. So they ramp ambulances, so they don't let us go into the hospital with our patients because they don't have beds for them. So sometimes you're sitting in the back of an ambulance with a patient who's non-critical, obviously, and you can be sitting there for 3-4 hours. I've sat there before with someone. However, like, it's unfortunate, but it is a bonus because I can do some eBay stuff, and that then you can grab your phone out and do a few things then. So that's kind of handy. But as for night shifts and stuff like that, you just can't do anything for like those 2 days straight, because I'm a big sleeper, so I do massive sleeps before my first night shift, and then I sleep all day between, and then go to work the next night, and then you sleep after. So it's a lot, and like, you can't ship, you can't do anything. So it is a pain for me having to change my handling times and having to sort out like all of that. And now I have a storage unit, so I don't have my stock other than this kind of stuff that I've just photographed, but I don't have any of my listed stuff here. So I have to go to my storage unit to post it, which makes it really hard after a 12-hour shift sometimes, when the item hasn't changed to the 1 day, the 2 day handling time from the 1 day, and then I've got to go post it. So that's kind of painful.
To adjust with all that, are you having to, so what are your actual shifts? Do you do kind of a few days in a row and then have a few off, or?
Yeah, we do, like, the standard is 4 days on, 4 days off. So you do like 2 12-hour day shifts, which I start tomorrow, and then 2 12-hour night shifts. So those 48 hours in 4 days, like, you're done. Like, you can't do anything. You're so exhausted after work. And then you get your 4 days off, then you're back here 4 days. So I'm lucky. So, I mean, I haven't really mentioned this before, but like, I used to have another business. So about, I reckon in 2013, we started up and we designed our own socks and got them made overseas, and then we were selling them online. And so that was going pretty well. And then maybe like a year and a half in, I went part-time as a paramedic so that I could focus more on that. And that was super beneficial, because now I complain about my 4 days, but then I get 12 days off. So that works super well with eBay. So so I kind of skipped that next rotation, which is awesome, to get 12 solid days off where I can just focus on eBay stuff. And the problem is also I'm not very good at having downtime and giving myself days off. So I kind of go for the 48 hours and then I go straight into eBay stuff, and then you're back at work. So it's worth it. The goal is to pay the house off fast and make some money and run your own business, and you know, the flexibility is there, so it's good.
Yeah. So is that going to be a long-term goal of yours? Would you like to go full-time? Would you like to permanently work for yourself, or are you always going to have that paramedic side to you?
I don't know. I always go up and down. Like before COVID, so I launched my eBay store in January this year. So it was kind of good timing for COVID, I think, because I think we all kind of saw a big boost in our sales during that time, which was awesome. And I dabbled in eBay before that. Like, I just used to have my personal account and list like 40 items a month. And I used to just do that, but I wouldn't even hit 40 items. It was just a bit of fun for me and a way to support my shopping habit of going to op shops and buying things. Yeah. But I was like, you know what, like, I'm kind of overnight shifts. How do I get out of it? So I thought I'd launch a store, and it's been going so well since January. Like, my goal was to make $60,000 in the 12 months, and I've already hit that at like 10 months. So I'm
good job.
Stoked with that. Yeah. But as for me going full time, that was the initial goal. But now during COVID, I was like, it's actually really nice to have a steady income and to not have to worry about, you know, eBay has its ups and downs, and I do get 12 days off, and there's that flexibility, and it's a good source of income. And it's nice to, like, I like the people that I work with, so that helps going to work. Otherwise, I just wouldn't see anyone ever. It's just, you know, you might struggle with that at the moment, being in ISO and like lockdown and not working now. So like, when your other job has got this.
I'm starting to realize it myself now that like, I've been in the workforce for 16 years and worked for someone this whole time, and I've made a lot of good friends along the way. There's a lot of guys I worked with 10 years ago that I still speak with now. And, you know, now I'm sort of at home by myself. Once Kate and Eli are out of the house, I'm just there with the 2 dogs, and I'm talking to them all day, but they don't talk back. And you kind of get a little bit lost. I'm used to annoying someone, sort of thing. So that sort of social side of things has been the biggest killer for me so far, which is the hardest part. But anyway, it is what it is. I'll just quickly swing back over the chat. I'm way behind on it, so I'll just see who's in. Scotty's in. Scotty, VB is always left in the esky. Not in this house, it's not. It doesn't last very long in the esky here, mate. Murray's house. Great to see a fresh new face on the tube rather than the same old, same old. It is. We're very happy to get Kirra in tonight. And if you do want to follow Kirra, she is on Instagram. She's pumping out some good stories and always good content. I have dropped her link to her Instagram in the description. So make sure to swing over and give her a follow. Very motivational stuff, very informative stuff. There's a few niches which we'll touch on soon. And you're not afraid to put up numbers, which is really good and motivating for me, and a lot of others love to see that sort of stuff. So I strongly suggest, if you're not following Kirra, jump on over and give her a follow. Recommerce Dave's in. How are you, mate? My computer's going a bit funny here. Shipping in whilst on day shifts is the hardest part.
Yeah, it is 100%. Although, it's okay when I'm shipping small items, because I do sneak them onto the ambulance, and when we can, I quickly swing past the post office. But taking VCRs in the ambulance is not ideal.
Old Gary's sitting in there having a heart attack, and hang on, mate, we're just going to the post office. Just hang on for 1 minute, all right?
Yeah, exactly.
Worked all day in the job, still contemplating if I'll be productive with getting some eBay down tonight or not. Mate, kick back, put the feet up and have a couple of VBs. That's what you should do tonight. Toby's in. Toby, another South Australian. We've got quite a few over your way. And I know you have actually featured on YouTube before, because I think that's how I first seen you. You were on one of Brad and Jazz's videos. You were out on the THRIFT with them and Kirra. Now that's always interests me with so many of you in such a small area. Mm-hmm. Is there a bit of a turf war going on? And are you getting the good stuff ahead of them, or are they getting it from you?
You know what? Actually, no, we all get along really well. So it's really fortunate. But I think that we kind of also, me and Kirra in particular, we look for very different things. So it works out really well. And Adelaide has so many op shops. It's insane. And I live south. They kind of all live north. So it kind of works out okay. But I think, I don't know why Adelaide has so many. My theory is, we're called the city of churches. So I think a lot of churches have op shops. And I think there's just a lot of churches here. I don't know, but it works out all right. We do okay. And it's nice to catch up and share ideas. And Brad and Jazz have been so nice to, show me their room and how they photograph stuff, and they've been super supportive. So as has Kirra, but it's really nice to just see their processes, and they're happy to share, which is awesome. Yeah.
When you got those people around you, it's actually more of a positive thing, in my opinion. I mean, I know of a couple around, and I do talk to a couple around here, but I wouldn't say we go out together and we don't tend to bounce ideas off each other. And I think that'd be a good thing, because op shops are always getting loaded with stuff, aren't they? And they're not the only way we all source. So it is handy. And like you said, you've been around, you've seen the way they set up, and it's going to help you with your business. So that's
that's it. And we're all at different levels of our business as well, and treat it very different. Brad and Jazz are way ahead of the game, their next level. So it's very different. I think they don't seem to source as much at op shops now anyway. I think they're doing massive bulk purchases that I definitely can't afford at this stage. So it's it's good for them though. They're killing it.
Oh, they're absolutely killing it. Two amazing people. Michaela. Hello everyone. Two of my favourites. Welcome, Michaela. Michaela will be happy this week. Lockie Neal getting up with a Brownlow medal. Very well deserved.
she's actually been super helpful about me getting a VA on board. So Michaela's given some great advice, which has been good.
That's something. That's a good leeway, because I wanted to talk about that. Getting a VA. You've only just recently signed on a VA. And for anyone that doesn't know what a VA is, do you want to sort of clarify on that for us?
Yeah. So a VA is just a virtual assistant. So it's someone who is online and you pay them. Generally, there's like websites like Upwork and Fiverr, and generally they're in countries like the Philippines and different areas of like Spain, and they're all over. But generally that's where a majority of the people are from, I've noticed, is like in Pakistan and so on. And they have experience in listing on eBay, because obviously Americans, you know, it's a huge industry over there, and they've started up companies like this, and that you can go online and pay someone to list on eBay for you, or do a multitude of tasks. It doesn't have to just be listing. It can be responding to customers. It can be just many things, like cross listing as well. You can get them to cross list to like Etsy, Depop, all that stuff. Which if you're time poor or you want to focus on other things, it's really beneficial, which for me, I am not a huge fan of listing, so I'm happy to outsource that if I can.
So what was the process of going through that to actually find her?
I think I got her through Upwork. So I went on there, and then you can post a job. So you kind of have to write a little bit of a blurb and kind of have an idea of what exactly you want them for. So the best thing to do is what I did was just use like some sort of screen recording program. I used Loom, where I just showed them the process that I do for listings. So I just went through different items and then showed them what I expect. And then they kind of give you a proposal, and then you go from there. So you decide who's best and what you think, and you just pay them a trial service first, and then you can go from there.
Yeah.
So, yeah, but if anyone's looking to do that, Michaela had an awesome tip from the Revival Reseller, and that was just to quickly send them a photo of an item that you've got, just a couple photos, just through a message, and then get them to just quickly write a listing title for it. And that helped me narrow them down massively, like the differences in their English and the differences in their order and what they included in the title was huge. Like, it helped me decide instantly. So that was a good tip she gave.
Hot tip. Yeah, that's good. That's handy for anyone.
Yeah, I mean, it's
probably something I'll look into as well, I think. Sorry, go on.
Oh, no, that's okay. No, I was just saying, because I mean, it is a process though. So I've only just employed her like maybe a week ago. So I've been sending her a few things, and it's definitely a lengthier process. Like right now it's taking me twice as long if I just did it myself, it would be so much faster, because she's obviously, it's like any new employee. You're teaching them a skill and what you expect, because their last person from eBay probably expected something different. And so that has been a process for me, and I've just recorded like an hour of videos for her today to just go through like what exactly I want. And I'm hoping within the next month or so that she can just get it down, and while I'm sleeping, I'll wake up and there'll be some drafts ready for me to post. So that's the goal. We'll see what happens. But yeah.
So well, you said drafts, so she just drafts it for you, and then you revise it all and upload.
Yeah, so I do the pricing and the postage, and she just does the rest of the listing.
Yep, beautiful.
So you can get them to do pricing research and stuff, but generally I've just kind of got an idea of what I want to price it for anyway. So, or I'll just quickly run some comps, but yeah, that's kind of how I manage it. And so far, I mean, it cost me, it depends, but at the moment, like around 50 cents or so per listing for them to do that. So, and obviously with time and practice, they'll get faster. So you can pay them obviously more per hour of their listing and stuff like that.
Yep, absolutely. So when they do this for you, do they have direct access to your eBay account, your Depop account, and all that sort of thing?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that could be.
So nervous.
Yeah, I could imagine there'd be a lot of anxiety behind that.
Well, yeah, it's funny because like initially, like I was like, oh well, they can't get access to your PayPal, right? So it's like they don't really have access to your money because it was through PayPal, but now it's managed payments. I was like, literally, they could just, I don't know, they just could change your details and then be getting paid into their account. But at the same time, like you'd be silly not to check those things like regularly just to make sure. But another tip Michaela gave me, and actually what the VA suggested as well, was to use LastPass. So you can send them your password without them actually knowing it. So they just get access to eBay via that. So they don't actually know your password at all.
Ah, well, that's handy for anyone that's looking.
So it was a good tip. And yeah, I was surprised that the VA actually suggested that. She was like, I don't want to know your password, just like send me this. Yeah. So and she's really lovely. So I'm hoping that it goes really well. And then I'm gonna have trouble probably sourcing enough stock to keep up. But it's like a good kind of pressure now. Because like today I was gonna go sit on the couch for a few hours before this happened, and my guilty pleasure is like keeping up with the Kardashians, so I was gonna go watch some trashy TV. But instead I was like, no, like I've got to send her some listings so that, she can get paid because she's got rent to pay and all these things. So I was like, get those photos done. So I like shot for like an hour and a half and got them done, which normally I probably wouldn't have. So it's a good motivator.
Yeah. So when did you know that? What made you want the VA? Was it too much stock, or you wanted that ease of the pressure from doing the night shift work? What made you decide to hire her?
Purely so I think just focus more on sourcing and putting more time into that, because I found that sourcing is not sounds kind of douchey, but sourcing isn't kind of a problem for me at this point in time. Like I enjoy it, and I think that I can somehow I've had luck with a lot of good bulk purchases, like from garage sales and different connections that I've made and networking. So I've had like a lot of luck, but the problem is when I get those bulk purchases is I'm not the best. It is not my strength at them not going out and sourcing more. It's like, so I'll process it and I'll have the photos sitting there for a while, and then I just haven't listed it because then I'll go out instead and get something else, like I've had to learn to be better, and it's taken me time to like do that. Although I did see that you said you weren't going to source anymore when you went and got Goosebumps books.
I did. I've put myself on a little sourcing ban. The ban is right. I'm not going out on big sourcing trips at the minute because similar sort of situation. I absolutely love sourcing. We all do. That's the fun of being a reseller, isn't it? Yeah. And hitting up the thrift is no better thrill. But I have that much stock at the moment. It is just dead money sitting there, and I need to list it. And I had sort of a bulk purchase come in through the week last week, and a few other things come in, and it's literally thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars sitting there going to waste. With Christmas coming up, I need to be listing, not sourcing, because my death pile is never going to run out the way I'm going. So I just had to get it on. So I've put on this sourcing ban where I don't go on big sourcing trips until most of that stock is gone. Yeah. But if I have to go to, say, the chemist like I do tomorrow, there's a Vinnie's right next door. Even though the chemist that I've decided to go to is 20K the other side of town, there's a Vinnie's next door. So I'm going to poke my head in there and see what I can get.
I feel you. It's like whenever I go visit my mum, she lives in South Australia, and I'm like, well, I'm out in the country. I have to go to the op shops, right? You just got it. You can't not. But I think also I kind of changed my strategy when I've got a lot of stock at home. Like I just go for the high-end items when I'm at the op shop then, and don't want to overwhelm myself with, the $20, $30 items, which is still good profit, but I'm just looking for the higher price items when I'm out and I've got so much stock at home. But I'm lucky I've actually, this is the first time since starting in January that I've actually got no new stock to kind of list. So so it's kind of nice that I can go sourcing without feeling bad.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Kara's saying we need to do some working hangouts.
Yeah, we do. We've been meaning to, and then I cancelled because, again, I had so much stock I needed to list like 2 weeks ago. So, but now I've got it all done, Kara, so we can definitely go again.
Toby's free most of the time. Rack Raiders, ex-Victorian, grew up on VB, don't drink it anymore, but bought a sneaky six-pack last week for nostalgia value. Love to hear that. Love a bit of VB. Wave at all the ambulance now, just in case, unless they're on a mission.
That's gold. I'm going to keep an eye out for you gets now so I can wave back. I'll do a quick little siren flick.
Lucky to have a good SA group. There is a lot of good resellers in South Australia. And I'll be over that way soon. Leanne's in.
You're coming over as well?
As soon as those borders are open,
I was going to say.
I'm coming for a road trip. It's about a 6-hour drive. I think I've worked out to roughly where Brad and Jazz are. So
yeah,
do a little road trip and hit up every op shop on the way there. It'll make for a killer video.
I've done that so many times from here to Victoria. It's the best. So many op shops to go to. So if you need to buy.
Looking forward to it.
Yeah.
What is your most favourite item you've found in an op shop? From Rebecca.
Ooh, that's a tough one. My favourite item. It's not an op shop, but I once found a brand new sealed. I sell a lot of electronics, but I found a brand new sealed VCR DVD combo, which was like a high definition one. And so I got that for like $80. It's never been opened, and then sold that for like 600 and something. Yeah, and it sold like instantly. Like I put it up and it was like gone. It was crazy. But yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of like, regarding reselling, I'm not 100% sure, but I just love finding like myself like expensive candles and just stuff around the house that you get for like $3 and they're worth. Like I found so many glass house candles for like $3, but there's, it costs you $50 to buy them, and I'm always burning candles. So that kind of stuff I get pretty excited about. What about you? What's your best op shop find?
My best op shop find. You know what? I don't even know. Off the top of my head, I can't think.
I know, me too. The pressure was on.
It's probably I'm going to jump down your path a bit. I'm going to say VCRs. I've picked up a few of them, and they're same thing, gone within a week for high dollar.
Yeah, they do.
You've got yourself in good hands with the two Aussie thrifters and Thrifty Pixie, always willing to give their time. Amazing people. Couldn't agree more, Michael. We've got another question here. Does the big rocking horse merchandise sell?
Not that I'm aware of. Do you know what that is? It's like, like how, is it Queensland has the giant pineapple? We just have like a giant rocking horse that's in.
Right.
So, yeah, it's so weird, but I don't think it's got a great resale value, no.
Michaela loves her VAs. Yeah, it's an interesting one because I've never really looked into VA. I sort of thought about maybe hiring someone to help me of a Monday or something, or paying them per item to just kind of photograph, because that's something I don't like to do, is the photo side of things. But yeah, that's probably in the something to look to in the future. Gary's in. Yo, what up, Gary?
Photos are
used to drink VB all the time. Thumbs up from me. I knew I liked you, Paul. Good on you. Kira's Instagram. Brad's dropped that in the chat. I'm a fair way behind this chat.
Thanks, Brad. See, so supportive.
Yeah, they are. If you are watching back, Kira's link is in the description. So if you're on Instagram, jump over and say, "G'day. What up? Look, Mum, listening in the background while making dinner."
Legend.
What are you having for dinner, Drew? What are you having for dinner? Jennifer's in. Murray, just hired my first VA from the Philippines today, so looking forward to upscaling my eBay in a big way. Yeah, it's very exciting to hear everyone sort of, upscaling. It's really good.
It's huge in America, so it's exciting that people are starting to do it here.
Mossy's asked a question here. Do you ever go through flat spots, motivation in reselling? Currently in a flat spot and hard to get motivated. You get
Yeah, so frequently, especially lately. Like, it's been, I don't know if you found it, but it has been quiet on eBay for me. And I don't know if I've got like an open return request that has been an absolute pain in the butt. And I'm like, in my mind, I just keep thinking it must be like something related to that, which it finally gets closed tomorrow because she hasn't sent the item back. But I don't know, like I've had several days in the last week where I just haven't made sales, like maybe 3 out of the last 7. And it's strange because I feel like I've been listing more consistently, but I think the thing is just to remember that there's like an end goal. So it's retail, it's always going to have its ups and downs. And I think just to keep doing it with the end goal in sight, that's what I kind of look at, not the immediate goal.
Yep. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I had a similar situation where I had a return request open and I found a big dip in sales for those few days. It was really weird because when that happened to me, it was a few months ago, and we actually spoke about this on our Sunday night show. I was absolutely killing it with sales. I was up and about. I was all pumped up. And then all of a sudden I went like 3 days with bugger all. And I had this open return request, and I haven't really had a lot of returns, to be honest. Yeah. And I actually had 2 at the same time, and I noticed a massive drop at that point. And that's when I started wondering if that was toying with algorithms. And I looked more into it, and I spoke to Brad, I spoke to a few other resellers, and there is kind of the rumors that, or speculation as such, that when they are open, that traffic doesn't come, but we all guess with the algorithm side of things, but it seems to be a common occurrence, especially for probably us smaller fish as the resellers. So I can definitely help
them. Though, like, I mean, for returns in particular, I feel so this case has been open since it's been a while now, like the end of September. It's been the 22nd of September or something. So this person requested an exchange on an item, and I said, I can't do an exchange, I can do a refund. But because it was a sizing issue, she said it was like 3 sizes too big. I've got measurements in the photos and that. I said, yep, happy to do a return. Do you mind just paying for return postage? Never contacted me again. So I just thought, okay, cool. Contacted eBay. They were like, yep, don't worry about it. After 21 days, it will just go away. Contacted eBay after 21 days. They were like, no, you haven't accepted it. You need to accept the return request because I have free returns on my store. And I was like, well, she hasn't contacted me back. And he said, well, you need to accept it and send a return postage label. It's your problem, not hers. And I was like, all right. So I did it. And then 12 days later, I still haven't heard anything. So apparently it gets closed tomorrow. So
beautiful.
I don't know. Returns are frustrating on eBay because it's just like, I don't know, a seller takes all the accountability. Like, I was more than happy. I'll pay for the return postage if you really want, but at least contact me back. But it's kind of frustrating. But that's just the system we work in. It's not that bad.
Yeah, that's it. And I think with the slow sales, like mine have been down quite a bit. It's picked up the last few days, I've noticed, but I'm listening more than ever, obviously sort of going full time. But just from talking to the community, there's not too many that have got sales up. They're at least sort of sitting where they're normally sitting or under. So from what I can gather, it's just a general October blues, I like to call it, in the build up to Christmas. Yeah. But with the motivation, Mossy, I hope you find it soon. I think we all hit those flat spots. I think it's like Kirra said, just think about that end goal. But I think most importantly, if you're going hard at the reselling and you're starting to burn yourself out with it, just put the feet up, mate. Have a VB or whatever you like to drink. Have a break, and that motivation will come back. If you're on Instagram, just have a look at Instagram pages like our good friend Kirra's here, and everyone else within the community, because that'll get you motivated again. I'm telling you, when you start seeing those numbers and all the good sales, that'll get you up and about. It helps me big time. Trying to catch up with the chat. Toby saying, fire up, your listing increases the chance of cha-chings. Focus on that. Yeah, so he's sort of opposite approach, which is probably the right approach, but I think the odd day break here and there just doesn't hurt. Butterfly Hustles is in. LastPass, fantastic service. I recommend everyone using it.
It is good.
If I don't scroll to the bottom here, I don't think I'm ever going to catch up with the chat. So if I have any questions, just drop them again and I'll catch back up with that. So I'll go back to Instagram. We did have a couple of questions on Instagram, and one of them was from Raid the Thrift, and they were asking what the weirdest thing you've found in a bulk deal.
Oh, good question. In a bulk deal, I actually haven't found anything weird in a bulk deal, which is bizarre. But no, I haven't found anything bizarre. Have you found anything?
Well, I mean, I've done abandoned storage units, and I've found meth. That's probably one of the most out there. There was that VHS tape with all the satanic writing and shit on it. That was kind of weird. Yeah, that's about as weird as it gets for me.
No, I haven't had the pleasure of finding anything weird so far. Like, most of my bulk purchases have just been clothing, like, from people. So it's nothing exciting in there. No weird prints. No. And same with electronics. Haven't found anything bizarre yet. So I'm sure I will. I found weird things in op shops and stuff, but never anything in bulk buy.
And then we got Maddie from That's What I Am. He said, when and what was the moment that made you decide to be a reseller?
Ooh, good question. Well, I've my whole family goes op shopping, and I've done it since I was a kid. Except when I was a kid, I really resented it. I did not enjoy it because I was like, why do I have to wear these op shop clothes, But as I've gotten older, I think I appreciated it more. And when I launched my last business, the sock company, I was still going to Savers on the 50% off days and buying lots of stuff. And I just was selling initially at local flea markets and stuff, and just flipping clothing that way. And it was so easy. It was such a good source of income, and that was kind of nice. And that was a way of putting more money into my other business. So that kind of worked that way. And then that business ended, and I stuck with paramedics for a bit longer, and then I got bored again. So I thought, it's just always been in the back. I've never taken it seriously. It's always just been a bit of extra cash for holidays or whatever. And then since January, I've taken it, I would say 80% seriously. I don't think I've definitely given it my all. I think I could definitely do more, but I think that's probably, I think it was just exhaustion from night shifts. I was like, I need to do something else to get me out of it. And what can I do that gives me the flexibility of staying at home still and spending more time with the family and all those things, Yeah. So, yeah.
Speaking of weird things, Toby's found a guy taking a piss in the op shop today.
In what section?
It might have been on the Adelaide Crows merchandise, maybe. That's could have been a fan. Who knows?
Someone was telling me the other day that there was a guy in the op shop smelling all the bras.
Oh.
Smelling them all and smelling the under. It definitely makes me feel nice about donating those items.
You definitely see some strange cats out there, but sniffing clothes and pissing in op shops takes a cake, I think.
Yeah, for sure.
He was a worker. Didn't shut the door. Fuck, I heard the stream across the store. That's definitely different.
That is different.
Tonight when leaving Goodwill here in the US at closing time, a man ran out of the store with a handful of clothing. Thieves, yeah. I've seen a few people in my local try and pinch stuff, and times are tough when you're trying to steal from an op shop, that's for sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
There was a guy arrested here yesterday for smashing 40 bottles of whiskey and wine in a supermarket and throwing them at other customers and screaming, "Fuck COVID." Yeah, he should have been arrested because that's a lot of whiskey wasted.
That we go to.
Sam's in. I've already dropped your message at the very start, Sam, so you'll have to watch back. Zach's in too. Good to see you, Zach. So we do have 45 in the chat, so thanks very much, everyone, for coming in. Don't forget to drop a thumb on the way through. And Kirra, I have dropped her link in the description. So I think we've caught up. Everyone's just saying hello to Sam there. Megan's in too. What up, Megan? So that's good. It's just jumped a bit on me, I think. No. Oh, good. So the next thing I want to talk about, there is a question from Toby on Instagram, but anyone that knows me knows I love a good niche, and you have a very good niche that I want to learn a few more things about, because it's something that I've done a little bit of. I've done a few, and I've made some very good money on it, and that is the world of VCRs and DVD recorders and whatnot, and you do a lot of that. I've seen some of your Instagram stories where you'll show us a snap of all these VCRs sitting there, and a couple of weeks later they're all gone. Now, firstly, before we get right into it, where did the love for that come from? Because you seem to be picking these up a lot and flipping them a lot.
I was trying to think before I came on tonight, like, where did I find my first VCR? And honestly, I can't remember, but I've been watching YouTube for years. Like, I used to watch like Paul Cantu on the regular, just go thrifting and op shopping all the time. And then I kind of started watching a lot of resellers, and I just was aware that VCRs and DVD VCR combos sell. Just from a lot of American resellers that I watched, they were flipping them for good money. And that's where I learned pretty much everything that I know, is just through watching so much YouTube. Like, I watch it before bed, I watch it when I'm in bed, and then in the morning while I'm eating my breakfast, I watch YouTube. And then it gets you in the zone of just like wanting to go thrifting, which isn't ideal. So, you know, you do have to limit yourself because it is addictive and it gets your juices flowing to go and find some stuff at the op shops. But yeah, I think I just learnt there, and then I just kept my eye out for them at garage sales and that. And since I was a kid, I've always had an interest in computers and kind of electronics, and I've always been the one in my family that set up everyone's VCRs and set up their TVs, and that was just what I did. So I think it was natural in that way, like it came easy to me. But it is so risky. Like, the reward is definitely there, and you do make amazing sales and they sell through fast. But, you know, I have bought bulk before of several DVD recorders and VCRs, and there's been like, you know, sometimes 30-40% of them aren't working. So it's just a risk you take, and you have to buy electronics sometimes sight unseen of if they're working. So ideally you pick them up at garage sales for a couple bucks, under $10. That's the goal. But yeah.
So you say some of them are broken. Have you ever looked into trying to fix them, or do you know how to fix some of them, certain things?
I know how to clean the heads. I've got a friend whose dad was a technician for like old radios and stuff like that, but he's in Victoria. And it was funny, I started selling all the VCRs and he contacted me and he was like, how is this possible? My dad tried to sell like maybe a year or two ago all his VCRs that he just had sitting in storage. Like, apparently had hundreds of them and just couldn't sell them. Like, no one wanted them, so he just donated them all. Which like breaks my heart now because I'm like, it's so much money. But yeah, I don't know. sorry, I forgot your question, the beginning part.
Like, do you repair them, or have you attempted to repair them?
Right. No, I don't repair them, only because I think once you repair them as well, it's a whole nother level of insurance that you need to get to protect yourself if anything goes wrong with them. If you're refurbishing them, then you're liable if anything goes wrong. Whereas what I've been told via my insurance guy is that if anything was to happen because they are manufactured by, let's say, Samsung, then Samsung is technically liable if I haven't touched them or altered them in any way. So it's not something I'm planning on doing. I just generally donate them. Like, I'll take apart the items that I need from them. So like all the screws on the sides, a lot of them are missing most of the time. So before I donate them, I'll take those off, or take any cords that they come with, remotes, etc., and then just donate the rest of them.
Yeah. That's a good tip. So I think that what you mentioned there, Toby's question, are you cleaning the inside of your VCRs, and if so, how? Some tips on that.
I am not. I have, but I generally have had luck with them working straight away. Like on VCRs, the heads do tend to get dirty. And to do that, there's, again, so many videos on YouTube that you can just take the casing off, and it's literally you just get some like alcohol, not VB, though, but just some alcohol, some spirit, and you just put it on the heads and you can clean it that way. Yeah, that's it. And you can just watch a video on YouTube. It teaches you how to do it. It's pretty simple, and even someone who doesn't understand electronics can do that part of it. But other than that, I do nothing else other than wipe it down and clean it that way.
So when it comes to VCRs, I want to know now, and everyone in the chat wants to know when we're looking out, what are your top 3 brands of VCR?
Top 3 brands would be Sony is for sure a good seller. That probably sells for the most money. And then Panasonic is next. Panasonic for sure, especially Panasonic VCR DVD combos. And if you look on the back and they've got a HDMI port, they're worth a lot more, that's for sure, versus the old like RCA, like the red, white, and yellow cables. And then LG is probably up there as well, but definitely Panasonic and Sony are the ones that you should get excited about when you see those, because they're easy to resell. And if they come with their remotes, that's ideal, because remotes can be expensive to replace, or you can sell it without the remote, but you do obviously make less profit that way.
Yeah. So you said you do pick them up at garage sales, but I've literally seen you with carloads of these machines. What are some other sourcing methods you have outside of garage sales and maybe the odd op shop find? Do you advertise, or do you just have saved searches? How do you go about finding these things?
Saved searches I find, I don't know if you found the same thing, but it does not work great for me. Like, I find that like on Facebook and that, they come up like a day later, or you know, hours after it's listed, and you're like, dude, like, and Facebook have removed, I don't know, like Facebook have removed what time they've been put up now, so it doesn't say like listed an hour ago anymore.
Didn't notice that.
Yeah, I've noticed that, so it's kind of frustrating, because it used to be a tactic of mine of, if they were listed for more than a week, you could like offer them, you know, like less than 50% off, like, and they'll probably take it because they just want to get rid of it at that point. But now it's like a bit more difficult to do that. Another tip is like local auction houses is one that I definitely find big bulk purchases at. One of the lots I got was at a local auction house from like I don't know if a TV repairer had closed down or whatnot, but there was like several VCRs and DVD combos from that. But you're obviously going to pay more. So again, like, you might see my car full, but like that auction house one, I paid like $440 for like, I think it was like 10 or 11 of them. But one of those, I knew if it worked, one would sell for $350. So I was like, I'll take those odds. I'll take it.
Absolutely.
But I also enjoy, I think, the risk of it to know like, when it's working and when it's not. I don't know, it's kind of fun. It's a gamble. But yeah, and I also have ads out on Gumtree and Facebook and stuff like that. And I find that a lot of people contact me that way. But again, a lot of people also contact you with broken stock, so they know it's broken. So you just be careful.
Absolutely.
I'm not trying to put everyone off. I'm just trying to make you aware that it is risky.
Yeah, no, I like it. I like it. It's not all glory, and that's the same with everything we do. There is the darkest one.
Yeah, and that's what I try to tell people on my channel. It's like, I can post a quick picture of a VCR, on my Instagram, sorry. I can post a quick picture of a VCR and I've sold it for like $300, which is awesome, but I might have bought 3 others with that didn't work, like it's the game of it.
Yeah, absolutely. So I've found, because I have flipped a few of these myself, and as I said, I love flipping these things because they do go for a good dollar. I've been lucky this far not to have anything broken, but I have found at times hard to find comps on them. There won't be anything listed on eBay or any sold listings. Now, my theory with that normally is to list high because there's none others around and it's a rare item. But sometimes when it comes to technology, and if you don't know exactly what you've got, it isn't that easy. Is there any other ways of doing your comps outside of eBay that you know of? Is there Facebook groups that can help? Or
I am a member of some Facebook groups. There's like I can't remember what it's called. It's something like analog TV VCR people. Like I can't remember the exact title, but you can post pictures on there and people will let you know for sure. Again, I think it's kind of American based, but it can give you an idea of what it's worth. But yeah, you can just always find stuff online, like Googling. I'm like on Facebook groups. With comping on eBay, it can sometimes be hard. I have found recently, though, that VCRs have kind of dropped in price a little bit. And I don't know if it's just those October blues where people aren't buying as much anyway, so it's a bit hard to tell. But I've been selling them, but not for the same high prices I once was, like maybe $20 less than I was or so on, but that's okay. Like I'm still making really good profit on each one. And like I bought a recent lot of like 12 and I think only 2 were broken. So those odds were really good. In general, like if you're getting them on Facebook Marketplace and stuff like that, you can ask people for pictures of them working or get them to test it. That works pretty well.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Kirra filmed a video today. I'm keen to see that. If you haven't subbed to Thrifty Pixie, get on over and give her a sub because she puts out quality.
The vintage
Have always known VCRs go really well, but still yet to dive in and pick one up. Yeah.
Get on it, Michael. If you find one for cheap enough, like why not just give it a crack? The hardest thing is like figuring out also the postage. Initially, like that was a little overwhelming for me, but once you get it down, you'll be fine.
Yeah. Watch and listen to a lot of YouTube on different styles of sellers and what they pick up, and I can't stress that enough. Even not just YouTube, Instagram as well. The more you follow, the more you kind of learn. You're going to spot bolos that you're not aware of, and if anyone's not aware of this sort of market, the VCRs, now it's made you aware of it, and it might make you, if you walk past one in an op shop, scan it and have a look and go, oh, hang on, this might be worth my time. And you don't have to be an expert in the market. You don't have to take it on as your own niche, but if you're aware that it's there, it's always good. Even if you're watching a YouTube channel, whether they've got 50,000 subs or 50 subs, they're probably going to tell you something worth knowing, because it might be just something as simple as picking up a thrift haul and you see something in it and then they've sold it for X amount. It's so many good channels out there, so definitely worth subbing to them all.
And I think just with VCRs quickly, I think a lot of, because they're all analog, so I don't know if most people are aware of this, maybe they are, but they need a digital set-top box to actually play through the TV. They don't have a digital tuner. And generally, I think people are buying these, from what I understand, from what customers have said, is just to watch VHS or to convert their old movies or whatever it is. But I don't think a lot of people are filming from TV on these anymore. So it's very basic testing for me. And so far, I haven't had any issues. I plug it in, I play a VHS. I just plug it in through the red, white, and yellow. I fast forward the tape, rewind it, make sure the remote works, play it for a bit and see if there's any like jittery bits or the head needs cleaning. But other than that, they're good to go for me. I don't get a digital set-top box and test the TV and the aerial. Like, I don't know if you do that, but I personally don't, and I haven't had any issue yet.
Yeah, no, I don't do that. Now, I'm going to tell you a little bit of a story about a VHS player that I picked up. Now, I picked it up last year at a garage sale for $5. I took it home and comped it, and I could get about $30 for it, $40. Mm-hmm. It was nothing special. It was a Panasonic. It was one of those ones that had the Sydney Olympics badge on it.
Oh, yeah. Now they're worth a lot. I think that's like the SJ630 or something.
Yep. So I done a few comps, and it was sold for around $30, and there was a couple listed for $40. So I thought, well, I might as well keep this. I can test VHS on it because I sell a little bit of VHS. Okay. And anyway, it came down to not that long ago. I was sort of doing a bit of a clean out, and I seen it sitting there, and I thought, since I was going to test all these VHS, now I'm guilty. I don't test any of them. If they got no mold on them, I just pack them up, wrap them up, and send them off.
I'm on board.
So I might as well just sell this thing. The postage is probably going to be worth more than the actual unit itself. But then I redid my comps, and it was up around the $150 mark. So, and it sold pretty well straight away. I got $150 for it. So my question is, do you notice much change in the market? Because I know so many different things, whether it's summer items, winter items, they change due to seasons. So many different markets change. RA stuff for me is always just all over the joint. Do you find these to sort of fluctuate up and down, or is it only minor movements?
Hard for me to say because I've only just recently discovered this niche. Like in the beginning in January when I officially started my store, I was just selling like vintage clothing and a few video cameras here and there, which is another bolo. Like video cameras are really good profit margins, that's for sure. But yeah, and then I only got into the VCRs and found that niche maybe like in June, maybe May this last year. So it was kind of over the winter period, which I'm guessing is kind of a peak because everyone's at home. And also I think during COVID, everyone was like, oh, finding their old tapes, let's convert these or do whatever. But so it's hard to say, but I have found a drop, but I think a drop in everything has been in October. So it'd be interesting to see what happens. But I mean, it feels electronics to me are all year round. Like I don't think it ever really changes for
that. Zach has dropped your link in there again. So thanks for that, Zach. Appreciate that, mate. Everyone get over and give Kirra a follow. Dave, nearby Salvos has good quality furniture, lounges, etc. Whenever I visit, there's always people trying to haggle a package deal with the store manager. Is that something? Do you haggle in op shops?
I have, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do. Especially if you're buying like a multitude of things, I will ask them like, I'm buying like 6 pairs of the same jean. Can you give it to me cheaper? I mean, I'd ask nicer than that, but you know. And I also have for electronics, especially like in smaller ones, not like salvos and that because they'll accept a return, but ones that don't do returns, I'll say, have you tested this? Do you know if it's working? And then they'll be like, oh, actually we don't. And so then I offer them less money and normally they'll go for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Toby, don't buy VCRs down south. They may be missing parts.
Hey, I donated them via Bunnings.
He keeps and uses them. Toby is a collector of VHS. So.
Yeah, he does love his VHS.
Can of compressed hair is good for removing dust and cobwebs, Toby.
It smells so bad though. Have you ever got compressed air in one of those cans?
No, I haven't.
It smells like the strongest fish smell you've ever smelled. It is disgusting. I bought some and I was like, never again. I'm just going to blow on it and hopefully the air gets out because it's so bad.
Yeah.
So
I've got a little air gun out there, so that'll do me. Low-key fishing for info. That's what this is all about. We're here to pick the niches off all these fully qualified people and trying to learn a thing or two.
Not fully qualified, but yeah.
So the chat's just skipped a heap.
Working together, Kirra.
Smells like
not all.
So we've hit the hour mark. We're going to leave it at that because everyone's getting out of control. We're talking about smelly vaginas and stuff. We do have one more question here, so this will be the last. What is your favourite category to resell and what is your least favourite?
My favourite is obviously electronics because the reward is very high. Normally cost is low. Least favourite is shirts, button-up shirts. Like clothing in general, I enjoy selling, but I hate listing and photographing. But men's shirts, I hate them.
All right, so that's going to see us out. We've hit the hour mark, so I want to thank you very much for joining me tonight, Kirra. It's been an absolute treat. It would have been nice if it could have gone longer because I had bloody 1,000 questions to ask, but it's we try and cap it at the hour. So it's been really good to get you on. We've been talking back and forth for quite some time now, but it's actually good to talk face-to-face for the first time. So
you always give me tips as well, so I appreciate it.
And maybe we can sneak you back on here for a bit of reseller wars in the future. That's something upcoming on the channel. So anyone that hasn't followed Kirra on Instagram, the Reselling Enthusiast, the link is in the description. One last question, actually. You used to be named, when I first found you, the Pickers Junction. Why the name change?
Because I was using that as my store name and so on. So I think it was just like better to separate it and keep it. I think also because like I didn't want people to go on and see how much I was paying for items and so forth. So I thought I'd just separate it a bit and keep it that way.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
So something I want to do on the outro, we did it with Maddie last week, just a quick fire. Going to do a couple of quick questions. You're going to give me your best answer, and then we're going to finish up. So you ready?
I'm ready.
Instagram or Facebook?
Instagram.
eBay or Depop?
eBay.
Jeans or shirts?
Jeans for sure.
Toys or video games?
Oh, video games.
Op shop, thrift shop?
Same thing. They're the same thing.
What do you call it though?
Oh, what do I call it? I call it an op shop.
Vintage T-shirts, VCRs?
Ooh, VCRs.
Fish and chips or pizza?
Pizza.
Sport, music?
Music.
Not a good leeway into this question. Who's going to win this weekend, Richmond or Geelong?
I'm going to go with Geelong because you live there.
All right, thanks very much for coming. Thanks everyone for hanging around. We've had about 45 to 50 in the chat all night, so that's been awesome. Go and give Kirra a follow on Instagram, and next week we do have another guest coming on, and I'm very pumped for that one too. So talk to you then.
All right, see ya.